This woman becomes completely rigid whenever she comes into contact with rainwater, then immediately falls into a coma. When a neighbor saw this happen, he promptly brought the woman back to her home. This made Jenny develop special feelings for her neighbor. The next day, Jenny found her paintbrush in the attic and planned to give it as a gift to her neighbor Jack's daughter. She looked forward to meeting Jack again. Just then, a sexy flight attendant arrived at Jack's house with her suitcase. When Jack opened the door and embraced the flight attendant, Jenny realized that this woman was actually Jack's girlfriend. Jenny's spirits plummeted. From then on, Jenny often watched the flight attendant across the street and eventually discovered her secret. The flight attendant always hid from Jack when making phone calls, and Jenny also found intimate photos of the flight attendant with other men on social media platforms. This strengthened Jenny's suspicions about her. That night, she suddenly noticed the flight attendant arguing with someone, and then a knife was stabbed directly into the flight attendant's neck. Jenny was so frightened that she immediately called the police. Worried about the safety of the little girl across the street, she rushed out into the heavy rain. The moment she came into contact with the rainwater, she collapsed again and lost consciousness. When Jenny woke up, she was back home. She discovered that police were already at her neighbor's house across the street, so she hurried over to ask the officers about the situation. However, the police instead asked her if she was the one who had called them, then came to her house to investigate. Looking at the red wine in her glass, the police concluded that Jenny had been drunk and hallucinating. Since everything at the neighbor's house appeared normal, the police then left. But lying in bed, Jenny remained convinced that she hadn't been mistaken. The next day, Jenny went to her neighbor's house across the street. She told them that she had seen the flight attendant being murdered the previous night. However, Jack said his girlfriend had obviously flown to Seattle yesterday, but Jenny still insisted she hadn't been wrong. She believed Jack must have killed the flight attendant. She deliberately broke a streetlight, then asked the mailman to go to the store to buy her a light bulb. While he was gone, she took the mailman's tools and secretly snuck into Jack's house. She searched carefully on the floor, trying to find evidence. She discovered one of the flight attendant's earrings. Just then, Jack suddenly returned with his daughter. Jenny hurriedly explained that she had seen his girlfriend being killed yesterday, so she was looking for evidence. An angry Jack threw Jenny out of his house. Dejected, Jenny went to a mental health support group. She began to doubt her own sanity and decided to take a trip to clear her head. When she arrived at the airport, she discovered that flights to Seattle wouldn't begin until next year. She suddenly remembered Jack saying his girlfriend had flown to Seattle, and immediately concluded that Jack had been lying. She then took her luggage to the police station and handed over the earring she had found at Jack's house to the authorities. When Jenny walked out of the police station, she was horrified to discover that someone had left a message on her car windshield. Today's recommended film is The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window. I'm very sorry, but due to copyright reasons, I can only share this much with you. Friends who are interested can search for the original film. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.